Shall we begin?
Let's begin now.
Hi everybody, it's Doreen and welcome back to the Father's Day cards with the Cricut. Today we will be making the final card, but before we get started, when I previously showed my video of my birthday gift from Schuyler and Logan, I forgot to show the birthday card that Schuyler made me. And one of the reasons was because it was in a different room. I keep all of my cards that I get in my dining room in a cabinet so that when people come by they can see all the cards that I've got. So I'm going to show you the card that I got from Schuyler. This is the envelope, and she's put my name there, and she's also put a butterfly, which she knows I love butterflies. And then on the back there is another butterfly. So the card itself, she's made in my favorite color, which everyone knows, of course, is purple. And what she's done, it looks like, is she's put some pearl flowers and pearl trim, and then once again she's added a beautiful butterfly. So when I talked to Schuyler, I had to ask her where she got that butterfly because I really like that. And she told me that's a Martha Stewart butterfly. So this looks like it came from her Cricut. I'm not sure which cartridge it is, but in the inside she's put purple, once again my favorite color, and just basically stamped the happy birthday, precious and few are friends like you, and then an I love you. And then she's added some more pearl flowers with the trim, and then once again the beautiful Martha Stewart butterfly. So that is my birthday card from Schuyler. And Schuyler, I'm sorry I forgot to show that when I showed my birthday gift. So now let's move on to our final card of the series. The cartridge that we will be using today is the Tags, Bags, Boxes, and More 2 cartridge. And I actually got this as a rack from Schuyler. So now, Schuyler, you can see I'm finally going to get around to using that cartridge. So what does our card look like for today? This is the card that we will be making. So come on and join me, and I'm going to show you how you can make this quick and easy card. Okay, so we're going to bring up the supplies and get started on the last card of the series. So now, I got the idea to make this card when looking at my Tags, Bags, Boxes, and More 2 cartridge. I wanted to do a card with a shirt and a tie. And there is a card, or there is an item in the Tags, Bags, Boxes, and More 2 that does have a shirt with the tie on it, but it's actually a box. And the only way I could figure out how to do this was I just decided, even though I hate to waste paper, I really wanted to make this shirt and tie. So what I've done is when I laid it out on my gypsy, I just kind of laid it out that I would only get just the front part. Actually, let me bring that up so I can explain it a little bit more. So I knew what size I wanted it to be, and the actual size of the shirt was going to end up being 10 inches. And I actually took my aspect ratio off when I did this. So, oh, I'm sorry, no, I didn't. I left it on, and I just made it 10 inches. And I didn't care about what it looked like on the side here and at the bottom. I just specifically wanted this top area here. So before we start putting everything together, I'm going to talk about the size of my card. So what I've used is the card feature that is with this cartridge, and they suggest that you cut it at 5 inches, which is what I did. And I'm not quite sure why they have these 2 circles right here. I didn't know what those were for. So what I did was I laid them out on my gypsy at 5 inches, aspect ratio on, real dial size. I didn't touch, I left that off. And then once I had it on the Cricut mat, and we're going to go to that one, I went to my hide and contour and hid those circles. I have no idea what those are for. If anyone's made that particular box before, and you can let me know, please send me a message or a comment and let me know what those are. So this is my card, and as I said, I did it in 5 inches and without the touching the aspect ratio or the real dial size. And then I went ahead and I inked my edges using the Tim Holtz Distress ink, and this time I'm using the walnut stain. So now we are at our top layer, and my top layer measures, let's see, I think I just cut a piece of cardstock a 1/4 inch smaller, which would make it 4 3/4 all the way around. Okay, everybody, I had to stop for a minute because my phone rung. So back to what I was saying. I believe I was talking about the size of this paper. It is 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. So I've gone ahead also and inked my edges using the Tim Holtz Distress ink, the walnut stain. So we're going to get some tape all the way around, and then we're going to add this layer to our card. So now, before I do that, I'm going to talk about where I got the paper from. This paper right here was just some cardstock that I had left over from a project. I'm not sure who that's by. And then my top layer, which we're going to add right now, and we'll place this down. So now my top layer comes from this paper pack, Me and My Big Ideas, and this is the family pack. So let's continue adding the rest of our embellishments. So now we can talk about the shirt, or the box that came from the tags, bags, boxes, and more. It is on page 44, and as I've showed before, it looks like this. So I've cut this whole piece out, and once I had that cut out, I then just took off the side part here on each side, and then the bottom one. So now I'm going to tell you what I did on the gypsy. So this is what it looks like when I cut it, and I cut this at 10 inches, and I left the aspect ratio the same, and I left the real dial size off. So, and then I, like I said before, I cut each piece off on the side and then here in the middle. And then the other thing I did was I went ahead and hid the tie, because I didn't want the tie to be the same color, and I did cut out the pocket. So what we're going to do also that I've cut out is, because I wanted this paper right here, this paper is also from the Me and My Big Ideas paper pack, and I didn't want the, let me check that, that might be incorrect. Let me look at that again. Okay, everybody, I apologize. The paper right here and the shirt paper came from this paper pack, which is by DCWV, and it is called Stack 7. what I did when I was cutting out my cards is I cut them all out for the Father's Day series, and I didn't write down which paper pack I got each paper from, so I had to go back and look to see where this one came from. So now I've cut off, as I said before, the bottom part and the sides parts, and this paper is not double-sided. So what I then went and did was I took, and there's a feature right here that says tag. I went ahead and cut this out so that I could lay this, and let me get that piece out, on top of here to cover up the white portion of the other side of the card. So that is, let's see, first of all I need to tell you what key this is. So we're going to go to that cartridge, and it is key number 21, and it looks like this for the shirt. So then what I did was, you're going to hit the tag and the shift and key 21 to get the collar. So now I went ahead and I cut that. Let's see. At 3, oh, no, I'm sorry. Let me try that again. That would cut at 2 3/4 inches, or 2.75 on your gypsy. So let's get some glue on here, and we're just going to, because we're going to be just working with the shirt for now, I'm going to get this glued on. Top of here. And also I think I'm going to glue my flaps down. And this was already scored, so I just folded it, or left the score marks, and I just folded it down. So now I'm going to place this just right on top here. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my tie. Now the tie does cut out with the box itself, but I didn't want the tie in the same color. So what I ended up doing, and I hate doing this, is I had to cut a second one of these, but to make sure that I didn't get the box itself, I used my hide and contour feature and hid everything but the tie and the pocket. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, I did hide the pocket as well, because the pocket also cut in the same color as the shirt, which is what I wanted. So you probably won't be able to see this on camera, but you can see where I have the tie laid out right here, and the shirt is all hidden right there. And I actually cut 2 of those ties, because once I cut it, I cut off the bottom of one layer and then put that on top, and then I put some foam dots in the middle just so that the tie would pop up to look like a knot. The other thing that I've done is I've also gone ahead and inked my edges, and I then took my Cutterbug folder, the Swiss dots, just to put some dimension across the tie. So now what I cut the tie at is 10 inches as well, because I wanted to make sure that the diameter of the tie would fit with the shirt. So before we lay the tie down, I've gone and cut some strips, and let's see if I can find those. There they are right here. And this is just some of the scraps. Because I ended up cutting this whole thing out on one sheet, I wanted to use as much of my scraps as possible. So what I want to do is just take these strips and glue them on. And I probably put too much glue on that first strip. And glue them on in an angle, like so. And I'm going to snip those off. And I'm going to put one here. So let's get some glue on this strip. And this is no particular size or anything like that. I just cut some strips in an angle. And I made sure that they were the same width by just cutting one, and then I put the next one right on top. And I'm going to glue that one down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my X-Acto and I'm going to cut these extra pieces off. So I'm just going to take my X-Acto and run down and cut those off. And then I'll flip it over and do the other side as well. So now I just have my little angle on my tie. And now that I look at this, it kind of looks like a candle, so I probably could have got away with finding a cartridge that had a candle on it. And I'm going to need to bring this up because I want to slide this underneath. So I'm going to pull this up. And then I'm going to slide that under. And then we'll take this and push this back down again. Like so. So I need to straighten that out a little bit. I also need to get some glue on the back of here. So we'll take the two-way zig pen. And we'll get our glue on the back. And then once again, we'll lift the collar up and slide it. Make sure we have it straight. And then we'll just slide it down. And there I have my shirt with the tie. So now, let's get our pocket and add our pocket. And I'm going to pop the pocket up with a little foam square, just so that it will have some dimension. And we're going to place that right there. So now the other thing that I want to do is I have this brad that looks like a button, and I want to put that right there in the center. So I'm just going to mark that by pushing it in a little bit, and then I'm going to take a pencil and mark that spot, and then I'm going to use my crocodile and put my button or my brad right there. So I'll do that and then I'll come back. Okay everybody, so now I'm back and I've got everything added to my shirt. So what I've done is I've taken some brads and added one in each corner of the collar, and then one brad up here in the center of the tie and the collar. And now what we're going to do is we're going to lay it down on our card, and I've taken and put some foam tape on the back so that I can pop this up. So let's get our tape backing off, and we'll add our shirt to our card. And once again, this is a really quick and simple one. If you have the Simply Charm cartridge, you can make this card as well because it has a tie feature on it, and you don't have to go through cutting everything out. And you can use one of the shirts from the Everyday Paper Doll cartridge. So I'm going to place my shirt right here in the center, and I'm just going to snip just a little bit of this off at the top here so I can just even it out a little bit. Now what I've done is I've gone ahead and once again used the My Favorite Things stamp set, the I Love You More WT guy, and I will put the link down in the description bar of where you can purchase this stamp set. I've used this stamp set for the entire series. So, as you can see, you can make several cards using that stamp set. So, I just stamped it out, and then I cut the square, or cut around the Happy Father's Day, and then I rounded the corners. So I didn't run this through a spellbinder die or anything like that. I stamped it out using the walnut stain, and I inked the edges using the walnut stain. So now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my inside sentiment to the card, and I'll be back with the completed card. Okay, everybody, so now I've gone ahead and added what I wanted to do with the scraps left over from this cardstock in the inside. So once again, I've cut some triangles or squares and then cut those in half and put one in each corner. Now I haven't put the inside sentiment in there because this is going to be a Father's Day card for my husband, and I have a personal message that I want to put in the inside. So that is the completed card for the last day of the series, Father's Day Cards with the Cricut. I hope you enjoyed the series, and I hope I've given you some ideas on how you can make your Father's Day cards. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.